Welcome everybody to a Shelfie with Peter James Martin for Crossing the Tees Festival. Peter was born and raised in Thornaby, which many of you will know is a small town nestled next to the River Tees. And he says that it was this river that led to a flash of inspiration that created the infamous duo of Brennan and Riz. So Peter's going to be reading from his forthcoming book, The Strange Tales of Brennan and Riz. And he says that he lives with family and pets, but the pets do not include any talking rats, luckily. So that should give you a little sneak sense of who Brennan and Riz are. It's 10 short stories featuring... No, cut that out. So, The Strange Tales of Brennan and Riz from Sixth Element Publishing, from their Harvey Duckman Presents series, is a book of 10 short stories featuring everyone's favourite man and rat pair as they tackle cases big and small. But it is not a children's book. So we're going to hear something from this this debut collection of stories about this strange detective duo. Peter, let me pass over to you, and if you'd like to read us an extract of your book.
Thank you. This is the beginning of this tale, Girl on the Water. This is the story that was inspired by the River Tees. My hotel room looked as bad as I felt, a drab mess. I'd gone to lie down but missed and hit the floor hard. Riz, however, wasn't impressed as he crawled out from my jacket pocket. "Hey, Riz," he said, "I'm going to lie down." "Here you go, Riz, I'll let you out my pocket." He was clearly irritated, but then I couldn't blame him. I had almost squashed him. "No, I'm just going to fall and crush you instead." His sarcasm continued as he screwed up the leg of the bed so he could peer down at me. "What happened out there, Bren? You got your ass handed to you." "I don't know. I know why. I had no idea why I couldn't handle a water ghoul. But I felt like this wasn't ordinary pest control." "You don't know? Gee, how fantastic. Remember, no extermination, no money." Riz started yelling again. Though to any listener, it would have sounded like a rat squeaking. I tried to drown him out by focusing on my own thoughts. To sort this, I was going to have to go through everything that had happened. Cuts to yesterday. My phone rang, breaking my blissful, dreamless sleep. I reached for it, but being groggy, grabbed the remains of last night's meal. When I finally caught it, I'd hardly spoken when the callers shoved their voice down my ear. However rude it seemed, they were dangling a job offer at me. You only had to look and smell the inside of my car, my temporary home, to know that I'd be accepting this job, whatever it was. Minutes later, I was heading north. My destination? Teesside. My employer had ordered me to meet him at the workplace, Preston Farm Industrial Estate. We were travelling up the A19, barely 20 minutes out, when Riz woke up in his little nest in my gloves compartment. I don't wake up all that well, but my assistant, his title woman on good terms, makes the worst hangover look like a pleasant morning. Today was no different. "Ah, why is your engine so loud?" He squeaked, crawling on the dash and looking out. "What's the job?" "Water ghoul," I replied, watching for directions. "Water ghoul? That's better than the two tarring crap." Riz hated me with the paranoid couples accusing each other of this and that. Before long, I pulled into an ordinary car park for an ordinary factory. I hadn't even got out before a grinning, bearded face was pressing against my window. "You the guy I ordered?" he barked. "Mr. Grant?" As I diverted attention, Riz scurried back into my pocket. "Please call me Riz." Riz opened my door and stuck his hand in my face. My first instinct was to punch him, but I held back. Begrudgingly, I shook his hand, only to be pulled into a hug. He patted my back before releasing his gorilla-like grip. "Now you put this nonsense to rest," he said, beaming. "Nonsense?" "Yes, nonsense. Come on, I'll explain." Riz beckoned me to follow him into the factory. Right? And so, if you want to find out what the rest of that job entails, you have to go and pick up a copy of the book.
Brennan and Riz. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask you one more question, because this being a Shelfie, what we hope is that authors will tell us a book that they recommend for others to read, maybe something that you're enjoying right now, or a book that you've been inspired by in the past. So I know you've grabbed something from your shelves for us, Peter. What can you recommend?
This is a book called The Wayfarer's Journey, but written by Abby Pearson. It's not an up-to-date copy of the book, because I know she has refreshed it in the time since I bought this. But it's a fantasy, it's a very well-written fantasy romance. And I actually know the author quite well, because she was one of the first people I met when I joined the writing community on Twitter. So she was a great help and inspiration, and kept me going a lot when I was writing like the short stories and the forthcoming full Brennan and Riz novel, which I hope to have out in June. But so yes, she does fantastic work, and it says book one, but then she did a prequel to this, so it's technically book two. But it can start the story off with the Wayfarer's Journey, and you won't be out the loop too much.
Excellent stuff. So that's one for lovers of fantasy and lovers of big sweeping epic stories and romances that take you to different worlds. Yeah,
she's done a full mythology for the world, and like a big backstory, ties everything in.
Amazing. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for that recommendation. We'll make sure to put a link for that in the description of the Shelfie beneath. And thank you so much for your time, Peter. We'll look forward to reading the book when it's out in June. Thank you.
Thank you.